Okay, everyone, it's finally here. The final game of the Montreal Scrabble tournament that I played in May in my hometown of Montreal. Sorry for the difference in the way this looks. I've been recording all these videos in multiple locations with different computers, and yeah, that's just not very professional. But maybe one day I'll be a professional YouTuber. In any case, I'm playing the final round of the Montreal tournament against my good friend and very often played opponent Dean Hergott, who I've already played during the tournament, and he beat me. And at this point, we've been following our head-to-head record for the past couple events, and if he wins this game, our record will again be even. And that is definitely in Dean's favor, as my rating has been a lot higher than his for many years. So yeah, definitely a bad matchup for me, and more pressure than I wanted in my final game of in a position where like winning or losing is meaningless in terms of like placement, in terms of getting prize money. But of course, I obviously relish at every opportunity to play anybody pretty much, and I was just hoping to win and not have a really awful end of the tournament. Um, and yeah, I was first, and I had this opening rack of blank EHOORX, and I made a mistake here, apparently. There are a couple plays you can make. Play OXO, you can play OX, you can play Hex. I decided that OXO was just like a good move, a solid move. It wasn't like too fishy. It doesn't give back any hooks. Like Oxo doesn't take an S or any other hooks. So I thought that this was a good idea. However, if I just play Ox, I am bingoing a decent amount more next turn and not giving back that much more. Um, and also giving Dean less points for overlaps. That's another thing. Any three-letter move on either side of Oxo is going to score points and not really give much back. So by playing Ox, it makes those overlaps less threatening. So I should have played Ox here. Slight mistake, very small mistake. But Dean plays Box to the X, so luckily he didn't have any overlaps. And I have this rack here, and I play Overrich, which is the only bingo in the position, I think. And oops, Dean plays Square, which sets up a massive S hook, and I don't have an S. And I play Zinger, but there's a problem with this. Um, I can play Zinger one spot higher for the same amount and also block the square hook, which I do want to do because I'm ahead in this game. Not only that, this also makes it slightly harder to make a play from the Z, which again in turn will further protect the S hook on square. Of course, some five-letter words might happen, like azine is quite likely, or ozone, and that will block square, but Dean obviously wants to keep these things open, so if he has the choice, he's probably going to leave the square hook open. I really should have seen Zinger up a spot. Just the fact that he gave me all those overlaps is very interesting, but definitely needed to see that. Um, but also, yeah, also playing jungle through the U is better than either of those things. And the reason being is that I'm just giving back so much with Zinger from the Z, and keeping the J, which is a much worse tile than the Z. So by playing jungle for fewer points, it's just a lot better for me. All the outcomes just work out much better for me. So that is definitely another mistake. And yeah, Dean pounces on the Z spot of Zune, and I have this J with not too much to do other than Haj, and now my letters are not very good. I've scored some points, but I'm definitely vulnerable to bingo and other plays. So he plays Ivy, setting up a T hook that I don't have, and I play yellow, which is much worse than equine in this spot. I knew that I had the potential to draw Q plays, but I wasn't thinking of 6 letter words, only of 5 letter words. This was a big, big oversight by me. So I'm just playing this game really, really badly. I've made one good move and it's a bingo. So equine will score 34 points, or no, more than that. One, two, three, four, yeah, 36 points. And it's just far better than yellow. Even though I do have the possibility of drawing plays through the Q. So Deen plays P, and I don't actually have play through this Q because OT isn't a word, so no quite or quiet. And I played Deceit instead of playing it at H1 for more points. At H1, it would score 32 points, so 4 more points. But I play it here to just not provide any bingo counterplay to Deen. If I played Deceit at H1, I'm giving a D, an E, a C, and an I. Sorry, D, a E, and a C to play through, not an I. My bad there. But those letters are very nice, very useful for Deen, and so yeah, I made the sacrifice to control the board. Deen plays Gam. I have this rack, and this is like, yeah. Now I start going a bit ultra defensive here, ultra instinct or ultra instinct defense, and just blocking everything. I probably should have just done something else in this position. Not sure what, but yeah, I was trying to go for maybe quirk, still going for these Q plays and just trying to block the board. But Deen plays info and blocks my draw of quirk that I finally got, and now I don't really have much. Um, and I play Reiki, so I'm opening the board, even though I didn't want to do that for the past 3 turns. So yeah, Sign It comes down. I have walls, um, and Quackle wants me to play WAW and keep the S. I don't actually think that's right. I like scoring here, and just making the game pretty far out of reach for Deen. The benefit of playing Wah at B1 is it blocks the R of Reiki the other way, and I can then deal with the lane next move potentially by hooking onto Sign It or bingoing. I mean, the main reason is I bingo a lot more after WAW because I keep the S, and some balance there. But I'm not trying to bingo, I'm just trying to win. Deen plays Tor. I play Duh and wants I13 DUI. Again, this is a board opening play, not the sort of play you would want to make in the position, but it just has a lot of equity value. It just scores nicely and leaves nicely, and Quackle usually just doesn't care about anything else. But I think this is the right play. Although Deen does double double, and now I'm potentially in danger of getting bingoed on again and losing, but I am up by 52 points, so it's still pretty smooth sailing for me. I play Adieu to score some points and keep the Y, which is a really nice scoring tile, and also interfere with this E and this R of Reiki, where a lot of Deen's potential bingos would fit. And yeah, the game is over now because Deen doesn't have any vowels. So he plays Clef, and I have this rack. There's pretty much nothing to be worried about in this pool as long as I don't open something ridiculous up for Deen. I play PD for 45. Plays binds, not blocking my outplays that are both blockable at the same time. But yeah, Deen is probably checked out of this game. He was down by over 100 pretty much the whole game and couldn't make a comeback despite my many, many blunders. And I actually end up winning my last game of the tournament and not letting Deen equalize our head-to-head record, despite, again, like so many of the moves I made were either questionable or just flat out wrong this game. But oftentimes when you're drawing well, you don't have to play as well. When you have a lead, it's much easier to just continue to win the game, even if you're making blunders. I tend to play better when I'm losing, where it's a lot harder to come back and win. But yeah, definitely need to need to not let my guard down and not miss all these plays that should be not obvious, but pretty easy for me to find eventually if I just take my time and think about the position a bit longer. So yeah, that's the tournament. I ended up with a 6 win, 7 loss, and 1 bye record. So not even technically 7 wins. I did have a positive spread in the end. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, you can't see anything. But my spread in the end of the tournament was plus 200. Better than minus, but yeah, very bad showing for me in Montreal. But yeah, I had a great time. A bunch of friends visited the city. I took them on a tour of some fun places. It was really a social event more than anything else for me because I didn't win. So yeah, that's the tournament. Thanks everybody for watching all the games, and hopefully I'll start very soon bringing you games. Maybe not all of them, maybe all of them from my next tournament in Albany that I played during the July 1st to 4th um, national holiday week thing or whatever. And yeah, hopefully those will start appearing soon. And as always, I appreciate everybody watching this content. And if you have any feedback or anything at all to say, let me know in the comments. All right, see ya.